their physical presence. They're so physical.
Up on the Appalachian Wireless Sports Overtime Saturday night, 33-0.
It wasn't even about that. He was like making sure that I was going to stay safe because, we was up probably 20. He's like, well, if you staring me down, I'll get mad too. I was like, yeah, I was like, well, shoot, get mad then. Like, that's what we want.
Kentucky, Auburn, Georgia, Arkansas. Semifinal highlights from the SEC tournament. Plus, LMU tips off the NCAA Division II National Tournament. We'll check in with the Rail Splitters down in Tex Turner Arena. And the Boys Sweet 16 starts next week.
I had that dream as a freshman that I wanted to be there 4 years in a row.
A preview of the three mountain teams that will make the trip to Rupp Arena this year. Are you ready? We're ready. Let's start the show.
The Big Orange are going to the Big Dance, the state tournament.
Let's do this.
I'm pumped up right now.
Welcome into the Appalachian Wireless Sports Overtime Saturday night. She is Lauren Cash. I am Jamie McCracken. On this day in 1998, Will Smith's Getting Jiggy With It went #1 on the charts. But as crazy as it seems, the song only stayed there for 3 weeks.
Unlike Getting Jiggy With It, the top-ranked basketball Cats have been #1 all season long. Nothing has changed since October when the first AP poll came out.
Yeah, these guys, they've been pretty good this year. Today, the top-ranked college basketball team in America goes for 33-0. Kentucky, Auburn, Southeastern Conference Tournament Semifinals in Nashville. Here we go. Auburn head coach Bruce Pearl said yesterday he brought 4 suits to this tournament, not because he planned on being there until Sunday, but because he sweat so much the Tigers just 1 game away from playing in Sunday's finals. But they would have to get by a team that has not been beat all year. John Calipari's team 33-0. Good luck, Auburn. Early first half, Aaron Harrison.
Deep three for Aaron Harrison.
Rack 'em. Gives the Cats a 12-point lead. Big Blue Nation loving it. Ashley Judd, she's like the second biggest UK fan. Drake's #1.
Sometimes.
Later, the Cats on the run, and Tyler Eulis hooks up with Willie Cauley-Stein, 18 for WCS. UK outscored Auburn 21-9 in transition. I'm not sure what 6'1" KC Ross Miller was thinking there. We're going to take another look at this one. Trey Lyles finishes on the other end, but poor Ross Miller. This is not Miller time. Willie Cauley-Stein and Carl Towns, that's about 13 feet and 7 inches going up against 6'1". Kentucky goes up by 16. Now it's the roomies working together. Eulis over to Devin Booker, back to Eulis, back to Book. 12 for Booker. Kentucky up 18 at halftime recess. John Calipari's like, well, I've been there and done that before. Second half, Cats back out in transition. The Wildcats were 8 for 8 from the field on the break. Andrew Harrison there, 3 of his 15, and then here they come again. Booker up to Willie Cauley-Stein. Now Ashley Judd's just going nuts. Now she passes Drake as the #1 UK fan, right? Kentucky shoots 56%.
I will learn that stare down.
the Bruce Pearl stare down?
No, the Willie Cauley-Stein stare down.
Okay. Yeah,
vicious.
Bruce Pearl looked really upset. Let's go to the Highlands Black and Blue Clinic scoreboard. Kentucky shoots 56% from the field. 5 guys in double figures today. You see a couple of them there. WCS with 18. Andrew Harrison with 15. Aaron finished with 12. They won by 35 in Lexington a month ago. Today, the Cats win by 24. Josh McKinney and Tanner Hesberg wrap up our semifinal day in the Music City.
Well, welcome inside Bridgestone Arena with Josh McKinney. I'm Tanner Hesterberg. More than 19,000 fans, an overwhelming majority of them Kentucky fans, watched the Cats defeat Auburn today. And Josh, the folks who paid the money to get in here to see this game certainly got their money's worth.
Oh, you're exactly right. 5 Wildcats in double figures. And, of course, this whole season's about not just the pursuit of perfection, but for the pursuit of title #9. Now, before that, the Cats will go for title #28 of the Southeastern Conference Sunday afternoon when they take on the Arkansas Razorbacks in the championship game. The Wildcats posted 5 players in double figures in their semifinal win over Auburn and will now play Sunday for the SEC title. But John Calipari would rather play on Saturday.
Obviously that would be the best thing, but it's above my pay grade to make that decision. So if we have to play on Sunday, we'll play on Sunday, and that's fine.
The Hogs will need to deal with a UK lineup that is versatility 1 through 9, giving Calipari some flexibility with his lineups.
When you're playing 9 guys, you can really shuffle. And you watch today, like I'm playing Trey at some 4, which is what his natural position is. He's playing a 3 for us, which is making him guard guards. It's going to be so beneficial to him going forward. But when you see him as a 4, you're like, why aren't you playing him at 4? Because Willie's a 4. Well, why don't you play Willie at 5? Because Carl's the 5. And you still got the Kari out there. I mean, so we're trying to, shuffle them.
One player, though, not in the mix is junior Alex Poitras, who is out with a knee injury. And while he may not be playing, he still serves as an important part of this team's run.
I mean, it's been tough. It was tough in the beginning, but the way his personality is, he's always engaged with all the players on the team and stuff like that. I mean, he's not playing, but he definitely contributes to the team. So
I know it's killing him not to be a part of this, but he is a part of this. He really is. And, as we go forward, these guys know it's been a tough time for him, but they're great to him. I mean, these guys are good to each other. They really are.
Now, just like Poitras has done all season, Tanner, he will be on the bench tomorrow afternoon cheering on the Wildcats as they take on the Arkansas Razorbacks in the SEC Tournament Finals.
And, of course, one of those games this season that Alex Poitras missed was UK's win over Arkansas 2 weeks ago, 84-67 in Rupp Arena. The Hogs, of course, looking to keep it a little closer here and hopefully pull out the upset in their case to hand Kentucky its first loss of the season. Reporting from Bridgestone Arena in Nashville for Josh McKinney, I'm Tanner Hesterberg for Sports Overtime Saturday night.
All right, thank you, Josh and Tanner. Good stuff as always. The other semifinal going on, number 21 Arkansas taking on Georgia. Winner gets Kentucky in the SEC Tournament Finals. First half, off the missed finger roll, Charles Mann tries to save the ball, ends up going deep into media row. He's studying consumer economics, but he joined some journalists today. You see that?
Yeah.
Look at that. 1, 2, 3 rows. That guy's laptop completely destroyed. I mean, that's impressive. He's climbing some high stairs right there.
Yeah, he is. That guy almost got bulldozed.
Later on, Georgia down 2, Cameron Forte. He gets the layup. Boom. No one gets back.
And look what happens.
Michael Qualls comes right back with the slam, two-handed slam. 14-12 Arkansas. A couple more looks here. Qualls goes for 15. Razorbacks up 8 at the halftime recess.
He's a heck of an athlete. He's a freak show. He's kind of like Willie Cauley-Stein.
Oh, okay.
He's not as long
with the
as him.
comparisons
He's
here.
not as long as him, but he's
Whoa. Second half, Bobby Portis, the coach's pick for the SEC's best player, hit only one of his 14 shots, and there it is. The putback off the miss. Not a good day for him. Arkansas pulling away now at 16. Athon Bell. Buckets. Georgia scores a season-low 49 points. Let's go to the Highlands Black and Blue Clinic scoreboard. Arkansas advances to Sunday's SEC Tournament Final. First time since 2008 the Razorbacks will have played in the championship game.
Michael Qualls, I got your back, man. Next up for the Kentucky Wildcats is Arkansas. The one time these two met in the regular season, the Cats beat the Razorbacks 84-67 in Lexington, and in that win, UK clinched the regular season SEC title. Tomorrow, Kentucky will go for the SEC tourney title. 1 p.m. tip time inside Bridgestone Arena. Live coverage of the game on ESPN. Should be fun.
Good stuff by Josh and Tanner.
Yeah,
Wish I was in Nashville, though.
It was fun.
Up next on the show, all 3 mountain teams lose in the girls' Sweet 16.
They were inside today, though. I don't know if it rained, but their noggins were wet last night. A little later, also, we'll announce our Play of the Week, plus look ahead to the boys' Sweet 16. We've got a good preview coming up. 3 coverage area high schools representing the Mountains in the girls' Sweet 16 this week, Lauren.
Yes, the Bell County Lady Cats making their first ever appearance in the girls' Sweet 16. The Letcher Central Lady Cougars and the Johnson Central Lady Eagles facing off with each other in the first round, guaranteeing a Mountain school in the Final 8. Check out the recap. 16 teams fighting for 1 championship. 3 Mountain teams looking to make an impression.
We've relied on a Jim Valvano quote for the entire postseason, and just ordinary girls from Eastern Kentucky trying to do extraordinary things.
Bell County, winning their first ever region title, had a tall task with Covington Holy Cross. The Lady Cats had a tough time getting out of the gate and quickly found themselves down, but their defense kept them in the game against the Indians.
I thought we come out a little tight at the beginning of the game and stuff and didn't allow ourselves to get settled. Missed some shots and things, but we've shot the ball real well all year, and it's the thing that probably got us a little bit.
Bell finished the season 29-3, going undefeated in the 52nd District as well as the 13th Region. Miss Basketball candidate and future Kentucky Wildcat Macy Morris finished with 17 points. But for the girls that will be back next year, senior Jess Sanders says this is only something they can grow from.
I mean, we've had a great season. I mean, just came short. I mean, it's game basketball. I mean, me and Macy's got to move on and go play college ball. And these girls, I know these girls are that the ones who play a lot of men's who are juniors and sophomores are going to step up and they're going to work hard. And hopefully they'll be back next year.
But after the loss, the tears flowed freely.
Pretty much, God, pretty much. Sometimes, we get pretty much down.
You're all right. You're okay. Just relax. Let me answer it for you. Katrina plays a lot of times with, I had to fuss at Katrina sometimes to get her to shoot, okay? And she don't realize how good of an offensive player she can be for us, and she comes up with so many hustle plays and so many loose balls, and Katrina does a good job for our basketball team.
The champions of the 14th and 15th regions drew each other in the first round. Most were surprised to see Letcher Central and Johnson Central come out of their respective regions. Nonetheless, the two put on a show. The Lady Cougars, led by 5 senior starters, held on to the lead for the majority of the game, but the youthfulness and outright hustle by Johnson Central kept them in it the entire time. Clutch free throws and late-game execution on defense for the Lady Eagles left them victorious, defeating the senior-heavy Lady Cougars by just 2 points.
It's been a great season. We've accomplished what we said at the beginning of the season. We said, diddle, that's where we want to be. And we accomplished that.
Johnson Central advances on to the Final 8 for the first time ever in school history. The Lady Eagles faced off with a tough 10th Region team, Mason County, on Friday evening. JC jumped out to a quick 8-2 lead, but the Lady Royals stepped up on the defensive end, and that made all the difference. Johnson Central's memorable season ends in the quarterfinal round of the Girls State Tournament.
This is a special group of kids, and I understand that those that don't know these kids, that's coach speak, and it may sound cliche or whatever, but they are very near and dear to my heart, and always will be. And there is a resiliency about them that has been there for 2 years. They have a winning attitude, and ultimately the bottom line is there's only one team left in this state that's going to be happy when it's all over. And we fell a couple of games short of that, but what a fantastic experience.
16 teams fighting for one state championship, meaning 15 teams walk off the court heartbroken. Until next year. And Holy Cross's run continuing. They defeated Male High School, my alma mater, in the semifinal round. And Allen County Scottsville gets the win. Just went final a couple minutes ago over Mason County. The girls' championship game will be tomorrow afternoon at 2 p.m. How about the boys' side now? The KHSA Boys Sweet 16 begins next week inside Rupp Arena.
Yeah, and for the first time since Harry Truman was president, the Williamsburg Yellow Jackets will represent the 13th region. Stan Lovett is the longtime radio announcer for the Big Orange. His call is a classic.
Count of the free throw line. 17 seconds. 17 seconds, ladies and gentlemen. Still history. To the line, Andrew Griffith. They haven't been there since 1946. I was just a small pup at that time, Rick Campbell. Griffith to the line. Shot bottom. Andrew to the line. Shot in the air. He's a money player. Andrew Gibbons, 70, 61. Andrew Gibbons, long lead pass to Schuyler. Let's count it down, ladies and gentlemen. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Jackets win! Jackets win! Jackets win! Jackets win! Ladies and gentlemen, the 2015 Region 13 champions are clad in big orange, big white, big black. For the first time since 1946, the 13th regional banner is flying over Williamsburg. The Big Orange are going to the big dance, the state tournament.
Unbelievable stuff. The funny thing is, he's like that all the time. So the Boys Sweet 16 begins next week, and along with Williamsburg, there are 2 other mountain teams that will try to bring home the ultimate prize. Here's a preview in this week's least famous recipe, Hazard and Whitesburg Full Court Press. 3 mountain teams will have a shot at winning a state title. We begin with the 14th region representative, the #1 ranked team in the mountains all season long, Knott Central. The Patriots become the first team to four-peat in the 14th since Breathitt County won 5 straight in the early 1960s.
Everybody here, it's tough to be #1 in the region all year and then still come out, especially after you've been 3 years in a row. These kids, I'm tickled death with. I love him death.
He's the one that gets us in the gym, and you know, we wouldn't be here without him. We wouldn't be here with any of our coaches. You know, they work as hard as we do.
Knott Central will play Callaway County out of Region 1. The Lakers broke a school record by winning 29 games this year, but the Patriots have only lost twice, and one of those losses came to Sagemont, Florida in a Myrtle Beach, South Carolina tournament. Johnson Central comes out of the 15th region. The Golden Eagles also a been there, done that type of team. Along with Knott Central, this is their 4th consecutive appearance in the Sweet 16.
It gets better every time. It's been the best thing I could ever imagine, and I wouldn't trade any of it for anything.
It's everything I could ever ask for. I had that dream as a freshman that I wanted to be there 4 years in a row, and at the end, though, I didn't realize how hard of an accomplishment that would be, but it's great being here now.
The Golden Eagles will have their hands full in round 1. JC draws powerhouse basketball school Ballard. The Bruins have only lost twice this season, both of those losses to out-of-state teams. They came to the mountains earlier this year to play Cordia, and let's just say they passed the eyeball test. So Johnson Central and Knott Central are veterans at this Sweet 16 thing. Williamsburg, not so much recently. The Yellow Jackets win the 13th region and will head to the big dance for the first time since the New York Knicks beat the Toronto Huskies in what was the first ever NBA game in 1946. Close to 69 years later, the Jackets are back.
I mean, this is amazing, especially with this group of guys. I mean, I wouldn't want to go through it with anybody else. I mean, let's just keep this thing going. I mean, this is awesome.
People didn't give us a lot of credit. We're 17-0, and we beat a lot of good teams. I mean, we beat Corbin 4 times, South Laurel 3. Those are quality basketball teams. They could very easily be sitting right here. So, just proud of our team, and just proud of the way we were able just to hold on to that and hit big free throws.
Williburg gets Doss in the first round of the Boys Sweet 16. The Dragons, winners from the 6th region, and are 26-6 on the year. And just like the Yellow Jackets, it's been a while since Doss has made it to the Boys Sweet 16. 1987 is the last time the Dragons played in it. The tournament starts Wednesday. Hashtag can't wait.
Jackets win! Jackets win! Jackets win! Jackets win! Ladies and gentlemen, the 2015 Region 13 champions are clad in big orange, big white, big black. For the first time since 1946, the 13th regional banner is flying over Williamsburg.
All right, and here we go. This is what the Sweet 16 bracket looks like. The big dance starts Wednesday, March 18th at noon. Collins and Owensboro will tip things off. The only coverage area team to play on day 1 will be the Williamsburg Yellow Jackets. The Jackets will play the Doss out of the Region 6. 8 p.m. tip time on Wednesday night. And then on day 2, the first game of the day features Region 15 champions Johnson Central. The Golden Eagles will face basketball powerhouse Ballard at noon. And then in the nightcap, the Knott Central Patriots will play Callaway County out of Region 1. The Lakers have lost just 3 games all year long. The Patriots have only lost 2. and that was just to one mountain team. Southwestern is the only squad to beat Knott from the mountains. The other team was Sagemont, Florida, in a tournament they played in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Knott and Callaway will tip off at 8 p.m. on Thursday.
All right, so the night before the Boys Sweet 16 tips off, the Mr. and Miss Basketball Award will be crowned. For the girls, Bell County's Macy Morris representing the 13th region. And in Leslie County's Katie Moore will rep her 14th region, while 15th region Player of the Year Sheldon Clark's Kelsey Garcia will also be up for the Miss Basketball Award. On the boys' side, Knott Central's Cameron Justice, Williamsburg, Skylar Griffith, and Johnson Central's Kyle Gullett all up for the Mr. Basketball Award.
I'm pumped to get out there this week. Next on the show, LMU begins its journey to a national title.
Yes, the NCAA Division II National Tournament getting underway, and the Rail Splitters start the tourney at home. And Blake Spencer, if you're still watching, Western Women are next. We'll have the highlights.
Number 1 seed Lincoln Memorial University hosting the first round of the Southeast region of the NCAA Division II tournament today.
Easy for you to say.
Yeah.
The Rail Splitters welcoming in 8th seed the North Greenville Crusaders out of the Conference Carolinas. That was easy for me to say. Let's get down to Tex Turner Arena down in Harrogate.
It's pregame dance on.
Tennessee.
It's pregame dance on.
I mean, it's nice when you're at home and you're playing in the NCAA tournament, Division II tournament. LMU ran the floor all night long. There's Dorian Pinson with the assist and transition to Jarrell Simmons. Completes an 8-0 LMU run, and the Rail Splitters are up 11. Corvell McElroy led North Greenville, with 21, 3 of those there, but LMU still led by 10. Nifty steal by Micah Parker to McElroy down the floor to slam it home with 2 hands. North Greenville staying alive. The Splitters up just 10. Keenan Peterson led LMU in scoring with 23, mostly because he created opportunities like that. Stretches the lead out to 12. To the second half we go. Missed shot from Spencer Reeves, but no worries. Jai Jennings there to clean it up with authority, but it's all Rail Splitters at this point, 79-51. Lorenzo Ross drops in for 3 of his 20 points of the night, extending the lead to 32. And then it's Ross one more time, splitting the rails of the defense. Let's see what Caleb Noe did there with these highlights. And we go to the Highlands Black and Blue Clinic scoreboard. LMU gets the win 95-62. Man, they crush them and advance to the second round of the D2 tournament tomorrow night at 7:30. So up next for the Rail Splitters, they play tomorrow night, Sunday, at 7:30 in the second round of the NCAA Division II tournament. They face Mount Olive. The 4th-seeded Trojans get the win over GRU Augusta, which means they get the pleasure of taking on the top-seeded Rail Splitters.
You like green olives or black olives? Or no comment?
I'm not commenting.
The Western Kentucky women taking on Southern Miss in Conference USA Tournament Finals. Let's go first half. Alexis Govin off the glass. 22 points for Govin. Later, WKU down 2. Tamara Jones, 8 points, 10 rebounds for the Golden Eagle. I like black olives. Tied up at 15. Lady Tops on the break. Bria Gaines up and in. They knocked down 4 of their first 6 threes in the semifinal game last night. Govin connects in the corner there. The Conference USA Player of the Year putting in work. WKU is going dancing. Lady Tops are the Conference USA champs for a second straight year as we go to the Highlands Black and Blue Clinic scoreboard. 60-57 is the final. By the way, shout out to our new hire, Caleb Noe, for shooting those highlights. Those were excellent LMU highlights.
Yes, helping us out.
Yes, up next, the Union Bulldogs season came to an end yesterday with a loss in the second round of the NAIA Division II tournament. Head coach Kevin Burton will talk about the season next.
Yes, that, and we'll look ahead to next week's NAIA Division I National Tournament in Kansas City, and there's 3 teams from the area participating.
Oh, yeah.
A fantastic season for the Union Bulldogs comes to an end Friday morning.
Yesterday, Kevin Burton's team eliminated from the NAIA Division II National Tournament. The Dogs played Embry-Riddle out of Florida. That was the second-ranked team in the nation that they faced. But even with the loss, Union finishes the season with a program best 30-5 overall record, and Coach Burton is uber excited about where his program is headed.
Our 7 seniors, you know, Deontay Johnson, Fitzgerald White, Dominique Hagans, Tyler Wagner, Tremaine Elias, Danny Montcalm, Cody Kruger. I think that's all 7 of them in it. But, I mean, I don't know, I don't have a thesaurus in front of me, but whatever the word that's more powerful than proud is the word or the feeling that I have oozing out of my pores of my skin for those kids. Not only just this season, but for multiple seasons, for the whole program, for how they represent themselves and our school, it's just off the charts good.
Well, next week is a busy week for us in the sports department. I'll be in Lexington for the boys' Sweet 16.
Yes, and I will be in Kansas City for the men's and women's NAIA National Tournament. Here's a preview of the 3 colleges in the area participating next week. The basketball season continues for 3 local college teams at the NAIA Division I level. The University of the Cumberland's Patriots and the U-Pike Bears representing the area on the men's side, and the U-Pike women's team making their first NAIA tournament appearance since 2003. The U-Pike women get the tournament started from the Independence Event Center on March 18th, bright and early at 8:30 a.m. Central Time. The Bears are the 6th seed heading into the tournament and face off with 3-seed Langston out of Oklahoma. The Lady Lions earned their bid by winning the Red River Athletic Conference Tournament, and the Bears received an at-large bid. U-Pike is 0-2 all-time in the tournament. The Bears sit at 23-8 overall and have recorded the 2nd most wins in program history. The national championship game for the women is set for Tuesday, March 28th at 6:30 p.m. Central Time. On the men's side of things, the Cumberland's Patriots caught fire in the Mid-South Conference Tournament, knocking out Lindsey Wilson and U-Pike before losing to Campbellsville in the conference championship game. The Patriots, receiving an at-large bid, are set to meet up with 9-seed LSU Alexandria, the winners of the Red River Athletic Conference. This is the Generals' first ever appearance in the NAIA National Tournament. Game time is set for Tuesday, March 28th at 8:45 p.m. from Municipal Auditorium. Wednesday morning, the U-Pike Bears hit the court at 9 a.m. The 7-seeded Bears open up play with Bethel. The Wildcats, similar to Cumberland's opponent, is also making their first ever appearance in this tournament. Men's championship game is set for Tuesday, March 24th at 7 p.m. All right, let's check out the left side of the bracket. You see Cumberland taking on LSU Alexandria. That game is Tuesday evening at 8:45 Central Time. And you see fellow Mid-South Conference member Campbellsville with the 5 seed taking on LSU Shreveport. Moving to the other side of the bracket, 7-seeded U-Pike taking on first-timer Bethel. That game is bright and early Wednesday morning. First game of the day at 9 a.m. from Municipal Auditorium. The 4th Mid-South Conference team making an appearance in the tourney, 14-seeded Georgetown.
How about the women's tournament going on in Independence, Missouri? 2 Mid-South teams present on the left side of the bracket. The Campbellsville Tigers getting one of the number 1 seeds, and Lindsey Wilson snagging a 6th seed in the top bracket. And finally, the right side of the bracket, there are the U-Pike women, the 6th seed in the bottom bracket, taking on Langston. That game tips off the NAIA women's tournament at 8:30 a.m. Central Time. Lots of early morning spots. Oh, wow. Lots of early morning wake-up calls, I should say. Spots? I don't even know what I'm trying to say there. For you.
Yeah, I don't know how I'm going to do it. I set an alarm, like 7 alarms to try to wake myself up.
Yeah, well,
we'll see what happens.
Have fun. Not a morning person.
Nope, not a morning person.
All right, next we look at conference tournament action.
Yeah, it's Big Ten semifinals in the ACC championship game without Duke or Louisville.
That isn't even funny, man.
So much talk going on these days about who can beat Kentucky.
So, could it be Wisconsin? Wisconsin is a team that keeps popping up, right?
Right.
Yeah. But first, they needed to get a win this afternoon to make sure they don't end up as the 2 seed in Kentucky's bracket.
That would just be awful.
That would be bad. Wisconsin and Purdue in the Big Ten semifinal. Fans celebrating St. Patty's Day a little early.
Yeah, that's fine. Tuesday, whatever.
Tuesday. Whatever. Final play of the hat, P.J. Thompson at the buzzer. Purdue's up 5 in halftime recess. Early second half, game tied. Sam Decker misses the reverse lay-in. Wisconsin grabs the board, kicks it out to Bronson King. He'll knock down an open 3-pointer. Badgers up 3 off the Boilermaker turnover now. Nigel Hayes. Hey, Decker, I got you, man. Touchdown pass. Slams it down with 2 hands. Wisconsin by 6. Badgers starting to pull away in this one. And how about Wisconsin by 11 now? Raphael Davis gets his shot blocked by Frank Kaminsky, and then the big guy decides to take it up the court and dish it off to Decker. My goodness, that team, they're seriously good. They're huge. Good. We're talking about in the sports office. It was a slow start offensively for Wisconsin. It doesn't hurt them, though. They win it over Purdue, 71-51. Big Ten title game tomorrow.
So who will Wisconsin face in the Big Ten title game later on tomorrow? Michigan State or Maryland? First half, Jake Lehman drawing the double, kicks it out to Mello Trimble from straight away.
Mello!
Terps by 7.
It's Mello.
Hot shooting start for Trimble, starting the game 4 for 4.
Buckets.
There's one of them. Maryland by 8. Michigan State, though, starting to go on a run. Travis Trice, hand in the face. Doesn't matter.
Goodness.
Lead trimmed to 6. We go to the second half. Sparty grabbing their first lead of the game off Denzel Valentine in the corner. Michigan State by 2. State not done. Gavin Schilling chilling in the paint. You like that?
Chilling. I like that. That's
Easy
good.
bucket. Spartans back up 3, and Michigan State does not look back. They get the win over Maryland 62-58. They get the Badgers in the Big Ten title game.
Started the show with getting jiggy with it. Now we're just chilling. Big 12 tournament championship game. Kansas, Iowa State go first half. Devontae Graham and Perry Ellis living on the pick and pop buckets. Kansas up by 4. Jayhawks have won 6 out of the last 11 Big 12 tourney titles. They come out of this game and they are killing it. Wayne Selden Jr. Career high 25 for Selden. Let's go second half. Cyclones continue their pattern of getting all the way down and totally redeeming themselves and coming back. Naz long with the layup there. Iowa State goes on a 17-2 run. Cyclones rocking. They would dig out of a 17-point hole. They got the lead now. All right, 17 seconds left. Jayhawks down 3. Frank Mason III decides to go for the easy bucket. No go. Iowa State goes back-to-back, second straight year for the Cyclones to win the Big 12 tournament 70-66.
All right, how about a scoreboard of the ACC championship game going on tonight? Notre Dame was the first team knocked out of the tournament last season, and they're the last ones standing this season. They beat North Carolina 90-82. Fun fact, this is a 4-year run we're in without a team from North Carolina winning the Atlantic Coast Conference Championship. Florida State in 2012, Miami 2 seasons ago, and Virginia last season in 2014.
Just good to see a former Dookie there, Mike Bray, on the sidelines winning the ACC title. Get your bracket ready. The NCAA selection show is tomorrow evening. It starts at 6 p.m. and can be seen live right here on WYMT. Find out who will try to stand in the way of the undefeated Kentucky Wildcats, when and where their opening round game will be played. Now, if you're our director, Jesse, he plays with fake money and likes to bet fake money. He'll probably do that tomorrow with his brackets. I'll see you in there, Jesse. Up next, we'll announce this week's play of the week.
Yes, we'll wrap up the show, look ahead to next week, and talk a little football.
He loves us. So, time for our play of the week, sponsored by LMU. KC Ross Miller was invited to the block party. But he's not the one. That's the cool kid. He's the one that's getting thrown into the pool fully clothed. Kentucky's Willie Cauley-Stein and Carl Towns.
That's the meanest thing I've ever heard you say.
What did you say?
That's the meanest thing I've ever heard you say.
Yeah, whatever. He can beat me up, so it's okay. Like most people in this world. That's just silly. Let's take another look. Devin Booker and Trey Lyles would finish the break with an and-one bucket, but Willie Cauley-Stein and Carl Towns, SWAT team play of the week, sponsored by LMU. Let's talk a little football.
Yes, for all those like me that miss it, spring practice has begun. The Morehead State Eagles starting their spring practice earlier this week. Rob Tenure, entering his 3rd season as the head man with the Eagles, says he's excited to start the season because of all the returning players. MSU returns its top 3 tacklers on defense. 16 total starters return, plus they've added 5 new coaches to the staff.
Well, it's also a time for us to kind of tinker with some new ideas on both sides of the football. We have 5 new coaches on staff, so there's going to be some adjustment there. The thing that's exciting, I think, moving forward is knowing that we have 9 returning starters on defense, 7 on offense, and so practice 1 and practice 2 should be really good, because those are the things that those are the days that we're going to kind of put our bread and butter in, things that should be a lot of review, and things should be crisp, they should be sharp, and really looking forward to watching our kids compete.
All right, real quick here, the Kentucky High School Baseball Coaches Association preseason poll came out earlier this month. Number 1 is Say Next, but number 9 are Hazard Bulldogs sneaking in there. Number 12, South Laurel. Number 18, Southwestern, also receiving votes, Paintsville and Johnson Central.
Well, that makes us, it makes us look forward. Softball's already underway. Baseball's underway. Should be fun. That's our next step.
We just
basically.
flow seamlessly basketball, baseball, softball, blah, blah, blah. We get a break, do it again.
Do it again. There you go. Oh, I missed
That
up.
was terrible.
There we go. Paper
That
toss
was so
time.
bad.
That'll wrap things up here on the Appalachian Wireless
I
Sports
should give you a
Overtime
Willie
segment.
Cauley-Stein stare down.
I usually throw it to the left. Oh,
Good
well.
night.
Wait a minute. I'll be in the Boys Sweet 16. You'll be at Kansas City. All right. Good night. Have an
Good
awesome
night.
night. Whatever.
I'm done.
God.